Annie. Are you enjoying the beautiful weather today?
Yes, I was outside for a few hours today. It was so nice. It's honestly such a shame we have to be inside, but that's okay.
I know. Well, it won't be too long before you can get back out there and enjoy the sun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear about how your week's been. But first I wanted to go over the homework with you. I was wondering if you could tell me more about that process.
Yeah, so I was able to practice some of the thought stopping we were talking about last week. Especially the one that came up the most, I think, most consistently was the my feelings of inadequacy, not good enough. But I was able to, not every time, I think sometimes I got stuck in the cycle again, but a lot more than before I was able to stop, think about that, and refocus onto something else and move from that, which was really cool. I don't know, it was something, it felt good.
So you were able to take those mental breaks sometimes and you felt positive.
Yeah, and I was able to take the mental breaks as well and just center back, not let things spiral out of control, into the rabbit hole of you're not good enough, it's not you're not gonna ever be good enough, just to take a second and to just refocus that.
And then I gave you, that's great to hear, and then I gave you the second part of the task, which was being your best cheerleader, taking times during these mental breaks to really reflect on positive things about yourself, to kind of counteract the negative thoughts that can sometimes become a cycle in our head.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that? Did you have a chance to do it, or?
Yeah, that went really well, I thought, hand in hand, because as I was refocusing, I was able to encourage myself through little things, but also I actually got one of the internships that I applied for this week.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a huge motivator, obviously, but I was also, there was a couple, but before I got that, I got a couple no's, and I was able to still be it's okay, I am working hard, this isn't defining my worth here, but then I did actually get an internship at the end of the week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it's with this company that I'm pretty interested in. I just had never thought about applying for an internship there. Didn't even know that they really had something like that. And I decided, I just thought about it, and so I just haphazardly sent in my information and my resume and things, and honestly didn't even think about it. And then I got called in for an interview, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. I completely forgot. I was nervous for a second because of all of the rejection, but I was able to use the homework and to really put things into perspective. And then I guess the interview went well because they called back. So
It must have, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. It sounds like you took the time, which is really important, to do the homework, and that you found a real benefit from it. You found a real benefit from taking those mental breaks, and also you took initiative for applying for jobs, and you stayed positive with yourself, and you noticed when your thoughts started to become more negative than positive, even though there was a few rejections, which happens, when applying for jobs. You're always taking that chance. And you're able to use that, and you landed an internship that's in the field that you want, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's really great to
Yeah,
hear.
it's not a full-time job, so I'll probably have to keep working part-time at the coffee shop cafe that I've been at, we were talking about, but it feels good to move in a new, fresh direction.
That's definitely good to hear. Well, I think this is a wonderful time to kind of just do a goal review of how our sessions, when you came in initially to our session, where we're at now, and kind of where you would like to be. So when you came in, you were, from my understanding, and always feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, you were unhappy and you were disappointed. You expressed disappointment with yourself, and these feelings of not being worthy because of your employment, because you weren't able to find a job in the field that you really wanted to, and this is affecting the way that you went about life, not only your job but also your social life. Correct?
Yeah, and like the way that I like thought that my friends saw me, and like I was honestly a little like a hermit, really, even wouldn't leave the house. But that's all like, yeah, that's definitely changed in the recent weeks.
Okay, so if you had to say that one was when you came in here to talk with me, and 10 was, the best place you could possibly be, where you did not need to come in at all anymore, and you felt completely confident with yourself, with your job, and with your friends as well, where would you say you're at today?
I'd probably put myself I'd put myself probably pretty low originally, and to comparing to that today, I'd probably put it at like a 6.5, 7. Moving forward, maybe that's harsh, I don't know. I know that the maybe even a 7, just like a solid 7, because I know that my the root of what was going on, or my like thoughts of inadequacy, and just like running that over and over in my head, and that was what was like leading me down like these places, and I've been able to combat against those, so it's really changed things in the way that I can like see the world.
That's a remarkable improvement, really, and it's really great that you can see, what's gotten you to that point, and it's clearly been a lot of hard work on your part, and taking the time and the effort, and you really have wanted to change, which I think has been the most effective part about all of this progress, which is really an exciting process. So from what I hear you saying, you feel like you've kind of reached, you're working towards, that end goal, whereas, everyone will have struggles and
right, yeah,
issues.
I don't know if I'll ever be a 10, because I'll never be perfect, but...
Yeah, and it's definitely healthy to be imperfect. But you came in wanting to be happy, so
right.
I feel like that was kind of our initial goal, was that you wanted to be happy, and we've addressed that in numerous ways, and I'm kind of just checking in to see if you feel like that's where you're at today, or...
Yeah, I think that I would definitely say that if I haven't reached that place quite yet, I'm well on the way. I feel like my outlook on things have really changed, and not in like a oh well that was all fine way, but like addressing hard things and like not letting that inform my like forever like outlook, you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. Anyone could see that it's understandable to struggle when you don't have the job and the field that you work so hard to study and prepare for, but now you're on your way to that, and you've also addressed some things that have kept you in this pattern. So from what I'm hearing you say, that you've addressed these thoughts and you feel comfortable taking the time to step back and see when they're getting the better of you. I feel like we'll probably be able to wrap up our therapeutic relationship here, maybe with one more session, if that sounds good for you.
Yeah. Whew. It didn't. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I just have that reaction because it just like I can remember what it felt like at the first session, and it's just like I never would have. It felt impossible to get out of that.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, I'm glad that you had that positive reaction. Normally, I end the session with sharing something with you that I'm like really thrilled about the work that we've done together, and about how you're progressing. And I was wondering if today you could kind of come up with something that maybe I would say
Yeah, I think that if you were telling me something that I'd done well this week, that you would say I exhibited perseverance when things weren't looking so well, like when I were getting my rejections still, and that I was able to push through that and continue to practice what we've been talking about. And although my like opinion of myself isn't what got me the internship, that I was able to keep trucking through it until I was where I wanted to be, or at least closer to where I wanted to be.
So you were resilient and you persevered and you took the time to notice these thoughts and your opinion of yourself and the impact that they had on your life. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Just a small concern to go off of that. I think that you do have the desire, the strong desire, clearly, to persevere and push through. And I think that sometimes it gets you down when things aren't going as well as you'd like, as fast as you'd like.
Yeah.
So my small concern is that maybe in the future, if something of that nature happens and does get you down, that you might return into the negative thought patterns. So my homework for this last session coming up is to write a letter to yourself for a time when you are in that situation, when something's getting you down and you start to notice, or maybe you just notice you're down, but maybe you also start to notice these negative thoughts of unworthiness coming into play. I want you to write a letter to yourself from where you are right now.
Okay.
And talk about the work that you felt like you have done in the past few weeks, and through our sessions and in the homework, and just the work that you felt like you've personally accomplished, and where you are today, and your outlook on yourself and your life for now, and for maybe that person that maybe that time when you are feeling down later on to reflect on.
Okay.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That does. Thank you. Wow.
Good. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm so happy for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Great. Bye, Ginger.
Bye-bye.